companies started to realize, ooh, there's some downsides to going all the way to the other side of the world. But we can make remote happen. So how can we get everybody back in the same time zone if they're not going to go back to the office? And that really was the boom for Latin America. And then in 2020, 2021, companies had to figure this out. And the result of that was you had work could be done anywhere, but there was like a big boom and then boom back, because workers went to the extreme, like they're in New York and then all of a sudden they moved to Indonesia, or whatever, to be digital nomads.
And then the big boss is who the US client is interacting with. It all trickles down, all trickles up. You never talk to the real software developer. That's not the case at all in Latin America. You're talking directly to the software developer. There's not all this people in the middle, because culturally they're okay pushing back, because they've got all this passion. If they think your architecture or design or and I'm making the software specific, but this could be anything. This could be your business operations workflow. This could be how you're setting up your call center, the tools you're using, whatever. These guys have an opinion, and they're very comfortable sharing it with you, and also okay disagreeing with you.
Right.
Not everyone is
critical.
We were watching this, and it's super authentic. It's not like there's not like fireworks and it's mass produced. It's like produced by some marketing expert. Super authentic. So there was this startup that we were watching that had a video job description. They were like the only other company I'd seen do this, and it taught me a lot. It was kind of like what you'd expect some early stage San Francisco tech startup to look. It's kind of common today with the rise of video and YouTube. But in 2012, 2013, we were like one of the first companies to do video job descriptions. There's like a light bulb that went off for me where I remember showing my wife an example of a video job description. They'll share personal stuff and they become like part of the team, maybe part of the family. So managing them is a lot easier. It's a lot more simple because it just feels like you're managing somebody in New York or Dallas or wherever. I will say that the thing that we care the most about for our clients is retention. What does attrition look like? And if we lose people, is it voluntary? Is it involuntary? Is it regrettable? This is somebody that, it's really painful that they left. And just back to that, like loyal, dedicated, committed mindset, I can probably count on one hand the amount of voluntary departures we've had in 2 years.
So I'll give you an example of two countries that are neighbors, say Nicaragua and Costa Rica. Costa Rica is, by most accounts, more developed. There's no standing army, long, consistent democracy. Many companies have been there already, between Microsoft and Intel and so forth. But therefore, it's more expensive. But then you've got Nicaragua, less expensive, maybe a more volatile past, but in my opinion, a much bigger upside and opportunity, bigger population, a lot of English speakers. So it really depends on like where you are maybe in that bell curve. And the more open to risk, the more upside and potential arbitrage that you have.
Get into this arms race with Google and Meta and Amazon. We help them understand the dynamics of Latin America, where even though wages were going up there too, not nearly at the rate of the US and these hot tech markets. We introduced this VP of engineering to engineers from Brazil and Argentina. These were full stack developers. They had experience with React, JavaScript, really strong, savvy, creative thinkers, problem solvers. So I've been lucky enough to visit Costa Rica, but as a tourist. So I wasn't thinking any business when I went there. We quickly we're in San Jose, but otherwise Manuel Antonio ended up proposing to my now wife, way back. Yeah, proposing to Manuel Antonio. So it's got a special place in my heart. 60% of M&A transactions nowadays involve companies with people in 2 or more countries. So I'm trying to think of this maybe from the CFO standpoint. There's the cost saving standpoint, which is kind of obvious, everyone talks about. But there's the back end side of what is my company valued at down the road. And I think the argument can be made that it's either a neutral or a positive impact to valuation by doing the BOT model and just having these people as your employees, and you're in multiple countries now.